This bow tuning tips is brought to you by Quickie Quiver. The legend continues. Hey everybody, I'd like to call this tip "No You're Not." And I know that you've been told that before, but this case I'm going to teach you how to tie a couple of basic knots that's going to help you when you're installing such things as your D-loop, cords to your string for your drop away rests, and also for your silencers. All right, we're going to start out with a knot that I call the over and under knot. It's made from a single piece, a B52. Actually, I call it B52. That's just because I'm silly. It's B50 wax bowstring material. I'm going to cut off about a 2-foot piece. A tape measure. And I'm going to measure down on the downward moving bus cable. We all know that. To 4.5 inches. And I'm going to put a little mark there with my ink pen. And it works really good on these different colored strings. All right, that's my 4.5 inches. That's where this cable is going to meet my string. Okay, first thing I like to do is I like to take both ends and I like to put them together, and at the other end I'll have a loop. I'll pull it tight, I've got a loop. Now what I like to do is wrap this B50 around my bowstring like so, and I'm going to stick those 2 tag ends right through that loop that I have in the opposite end and slide it up towards where you're going to begin your knot. Okay, go ahead, slide your cable, the string through there for your cord. Let me get it back to where it needs to be, which is right here. All right, and then I'm going to pull it tight, boom, like that. Okay, now it's going to hold itself pretty good, just one single tie like that. Now what I'm going to do is, it's called an over and under. You go over the string, you come back through, and you pull it down, being sure to keep your bowstring and the cord of your rest together. You want to slide that all the way back up to where it butts up against the last knot. You go around the same direction and you do it again. Boom. This is a good knot for those pesky strings that want to separate on you when you're trying to tie your peep in. Boom, just keep stacking them. And be sure when you pull them that you're pulling them tight so they'll grip good. You don't want it sliding. Boom. It makes a pretty cool knot. It'll have a ridge down one side of it that'll kind of twist around the string. You'll see that here in a second. I'll get a few more ties on there. You want to be sure to keep going the same direction. See, I'm going around the string, back through the loop that I have, and then I'm pulling it. This is a super duper strong knot. I mean, you're talking about each strand of this B50 is like 90 pounds tensile strength, and you're doubling it up. It's 180 pounds. You could pull it tight enough to cut your bowstring in half if you're that strong. You just keep tying it down. It's a pretty cool knot for effect. I like my knots to look nice and organized. I don't like it to be a bunch of jumbled up stuff. I just like the way this knot looks. You can use different color string. I just prefer to use black on it. Okay, now that I've got it down to where I'm like at the end of where I'm going to stop at, I'm going to separate my 2 strings again. Maybe. All right. Pull them around, come around on the opposite side, and tie them boogers off with a square knot, which are 2 half hitches stacked on top of each other if you're not a knot aficionado. Or an aficionado. All right, cut the string off. I'll quit the clowning around. My stupid jokes. All right. Move everything out of the way and burn that booger. And then you want to stick it back to itself so it adheres. See how it's got that ridge around it? Pretty cool knot. You can cut the tag into your string off of your cord. I'm going to leave it on mine because I might end up putting this on another one of my bows. I tend to do that. Okay, now that we've got the over and under knot tied, we're going to move back to the D-loop. Just be sure when you set the D-loop up that you go ahead and tune the bow, get your rest squared, get your windage and elevation and everything set. And you can find out how to do that on the rest tuning page on basic rest tuning. All right, what I've got here is I've got a piece of D-loop material. It's a heavier duty string. You guys know what it is. And I'm going to tie the top knot. I'm just going to show you one knot because the other knot's identical to it. And it's called, I call it a cinch knot because the more you pull it, the tighter it gets. What you want to do is you want to wrap your D-loop material around your bow serving. You're going to pull it like so. Okay? Then it goes over the top of that string like so. Then you're going to go down, back around the opposite way that you just came through on your bowstring. Okay? Now, you're going to see right there that little hole. You slide it through there. And as you pull it down, the little melted spot on the end, the little knob, will hold it tight. Boom. There you go. You got that thing tied perfectly. The bottom knot is done exactly the same way. You go through the string. You go around. You go back around. You come back through the hole at the bottom. And you pull that booger tight. And that's exactly how it's set up. And it makes the D-loop. Once you pull it tighter, it's going to stretch some. Because both knots clench down and hold the serving. They make a tool for it. I don't have one. There you go. Okay, the next knot we're going to tie is my favorite, the super knot. We're going to use it to tie on my silencers. If you want to find out how to tie these silencers on, refer to the video on the Peeps and Strings page, and there's a video for it. All right, we're going to start out with about an 18-inch piece of the B50 wax bowstring material. You're going to wrap it around the silencer material and the string. It's held on by a little clamp. And we're going to pull that half hitch down tight. The reason this knot works good for this and not using the over and under knot is because you can actually stack this knot on top of itself. And you don't want to have a long type knot like a row of knots like it's on the over and under. Okay, you tie your half hitch knot, you pull it as tight as you can. Now this string can cut your finger, so just pull it, don't be careful, not cut yourself. Then you're going to go on the opposite side, again, cross it over, put a half hitch right on top of that one. Boom. I use green because it'll kind of match the green in the string. It's going to look pretty cool. Then you're going to go right on the top again. Bang. Just keep stacking them. I mean, you're just getting them things right on top of each other. And that's why I like this knot for this application, because it'll go right on top of itself. It just keeps tightening itself and tightening itself the tighter you draw it. Okay, we go around it about 8 or 9 times. Get it out here. Go one more time here. And then we're going to finish it off with a square knot on top of it. And do my favorite thing is to cut it and then go ahead and melt it down. Be careful not to get that lighter too close to your new string. Boom. Good secure knot. That thing ain't going to move. All right. Know your knot. Stay tuned. See you next time.